Dave is back at it here to give everyone another Game of Thrones Season 6 episode review video. Before I get to that, though, pretty important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Game of Thrones, or you're just not that entirely sure yet, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my suggestion that you don't watch this video any further just to stay away from any potential spoilers. This will be Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 3. Title of this episode is called Oathbreaker. This is going to be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So, when they go to Old Town, or on the way to Old Town, Sam explains to Gilly that women are not welcomed at the Citadel, and that he intends to leave her in Little Sam with his family at Hornhill while he does training to be a maester. Now, he does tell her, though, that she and Little Sam are essentially all that matter to him. Now, Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven observe a vision of young Ned Stark, Lord Howland Reed, who is Mira's father, and 4 other northern soldiers arriving at the Tower of Joy in Dorne's Red Mountain at the climax of Robert's Rebellion. Now, Sir Arthur Dayne and Sir Gerald Hightower greet young Ned as he arrives. Now, Ned announces that Prince Rhaegar Targaryen and the Mad King have been killed and asks why Sir Arthur was not present at the Battle of Trident. Now, Sir Arthur replies that he has been ordered to stay at the tower after young Ned demands to know where his sister Lyanna Stark is. The battle begins. Now, young Ned kills Sir Gerald, but Sir Arthur defeats most of young Ned's men by himself, as he's a damn good fighter, and is actually about to kill young Ned when a wounded Howland Reed rises and stabs Sir Arthur through the back before Ned delivers the fatal blow. When a woman's scream emerges from the tower, young Ned begins to run inside. The Three-Eyed Raven explains that the rest of the vision is intended for another time, but Bran demands to stay and calls out to Ned, and then Ned turns for a second, seemingly having heard what Bran had said and heard his voice, but continues inside before the Three-Eyed Raven pulls Bran out of the vision. Now, back in the cave, Bran demands to know what was in the tower, and the Three-Eyed Raven does not attend Bran's demands, doesn't let him know, saying that he will eventually have to leave the cave, but first he must learn everything. Daenerys arrives with Khal Morros Khalistar at Vaz Dorath and is escorted to meet the Dashkaleen. The elder of the Dashkaleen tries to sympathize with Daenerys and explains that the various Khalistars have gathered at Vaz Dorath to discuss which cities and towns to conquer. Now, they also have to meet to discuss what to do with Daenerys. The elder hopes for Daenerys' safety, that they decide to let her remain with Dashkaleen. Now, Varys interrogates Vala, who had conspired with the Sons of Harpy in their attacks on the Unsullied, and we saw her in Season 5, and she confesses that if she gave him information on the Sons of Harpy, they will likely kill her, and then Varys offers her and her son safe passage to Pentos in exchange for information. And then later, Varys explains to Tyrion, Grey Worm, and Missandei that he has discovered that the slave masters of Yunkai, Astapor, and Volantis have been financing the Sons of Harpy. Tyrion warns that taking military action will leave Meereen defenseless, and they will conclude that the only way to defeat the Sons of Harpy is to hunt them down. So Tyrion asks Varys to send his little birds to deliver a message to the leaders of Astapor, Yunkai, and Volantis. Cersei and Jaime interrupt a small council meeting at which Kevin Lannister, Lady Leno Tyrell, Lord Mace Tyrell, and Grand Maester Pycelle are present. Cersei and Jaime mention that Ilaria and the Sand Snakes have taken control of Dorne and demand to sit in on the small council. When they refuse to leave, Kevin orders the Kevin instead orders the council to leave the room. So everybody gets up. Pycelle, it was funny because he was talking mad shit about the mountain, and then the mountain was in there with Jaime and Cersei, and Pycelle just kind of, limps away, or that fake limp that he does, because he wants people to think he's old and brittle and can't move very well. It was just pretty funny. Pycelle's an interesting character. And then Tommen marches into the the Great Sept, demanding to let Cersei see Marcella's tomb. The High Sparrow explains that she will be able to once her sins have been atoned for and she has faced trial. After telling their respective soldiers to stand down, the High Sparrow explains that the importance of the mother in the faith of the Seven, showing Tommen his resemblance to his mother. And Arya is training and trains using sticks with the waif in the House of the Black and White in between duels. The waif questions Arya about who she used to be. Arya reveals all of her family members and reveals that she had taken the Hound off her list, off her kill list before she left him to die, conflicted about her desire to kill him. And then after she finally is able to stop the waif's hits with the stick, Jaqen H'ghar offers Arya her sight back if she says her name. When she replies, "A girl has no name," Jaqen H'ghar offers her water from the poisonous well in the temple's entrance chamber. So Arya does drink the water and closes her eyes, or drinks what's in there, the poisonous stuff in her eyes. And then when she opens her eyes, it reveals that her sight has returned, which is great because now she can see. Small John Umber meets with Ramsay and Harold Karstark. Despite his dislike of Roose Bolton and his refusal to pledge to Ramsay, Small John wishes to ally with the Boltons to destroy the wildlings John has left settle south of the wall. Now, to demonstrate his loyalty, Small John presents Rickon. He presents Rickon Stark and Osha as his prisoners. Osha, we haven't seen Osha since season 4. Well, either of them since season 4. Proving Rickon's identity by also presenting the severed head of Rickon's direwolf Shaggy Dog. And then the last thing in the episode, after the resurrection of Jon Snow, Davos, he's greeted by Davos and Melisandre, and Melisandre tells Jon that her religion prophesizes the return of a heroic prince and suggests that that prince may not be Stannis, as she first thought, but Jon Snow. Jon enters the courtyard to meet with the wildlings and reunite with Tormund and Ed. Tormund tells Jon that the wildlings think he's a god, or think he's God. And then the last thing that we see of the episode, Jon presides over the hanging of Thorne, Ali, Oathwell Yarrick, and Bowen Marsh. Thorne says that, what I did was wrong, but that's what I thought I should do at the time. And if I had the chance to do it again, I hope I would still make the right choice. So basically, he thought he did what was right in killing Jon. Ali just sits there with hangs there, or stands there, I should say, because he wasn't hung out, with just like a mad look on his face. And Alistair Thorne thinks that what he did was right for the Night's Watch, and he actually gulps that Jon will be still fighting the wildlings battles forever. So Jon cuts the rope and hangs them all, and then what Jon does is walk up to Ed and gives him his cloak and says, "Do what you want with this. My watch is ended. I died technically." And Jon walks off, and that's how the episode ends. So Jon is leaving the Night's Watch. He's gonna go wherever with the wildlings. A very interesting moment. So I liked a lot of what I saw. Was it the best episode ever? Of course not, but it had a lot of good moments. The season 6 is building, and there's a lot of good moments that start, and then the ending of season 6 is just fucking amazing. So I'm going to give the episode a score of 8.9 out of 10, and I'm going back and forth here between my character of the episode, Arya, John, Arya, John. I'm going to give it to Arya since she, did a lot with, Jaqen H'ghar or the Way for, I think they're the same people actually. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it is your turn. So if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, please make sure to smash that like button. If there's anybody that you know that would be interested in this video, go ahead and share it with them. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about your thoughts. What would you score this episode? Who would be your character of the episode? And of course, what would be your favorite moment of the episode? And last but certainly not least, I definitely want to grow the channel, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support to be a part of something special, and JDev will return.